Okay, here's our next topic. What do you do about kids' sleepovers today? And should the rules be different if one of the children is bisexual? A parent wrote into the Slate advice column saying they have two kids, one's straight, one's bisexual, and they don't know what to do in terms of modifying the rules on same sex sleepovers or opposite sex sleepovers for the bisexual child. What do you think?
I think bisexuals get a lot of things, so no sleepovers for them. They can't have it all. That's my... I'm going to disagree and say this is the one thing that they have, that sleepovers are for queer and gay teens to pine after their straight peers and to, braid each other's hair and pretend that that's sex. Like, I think, who's having sex at a sleepover? What kid is having, like, if you're having sex and you're sleepover age, like, it's not the sleepover that's going to be like, this is going to be my first time, like in front of all of these girls at this house, like while everybody's, watching a movie. Like, it's not the time that you're going to engage in that. So, like, I just think, I know Iman thinks that bisexuals have everything. She's also never been with a woman besides me, so she's quite late.
I know, and I only had all girls sleepover growing up. What does that say about my friends that I came out so much later? I guess
they weren't attractive.
That wasn't into them. Yeah, I didn't know I was gay until my 30s. Sorry, friends. No, they are very
Okay, well, Amber.
I shouldn't say that.
Amber on Twitter said open and honest conversations are needed, discussing what the expectations are in our home and what their relationship is, making the conversation one where they can talk freely and without judgment, but laying down the ground rules. And I think that's a great way to do it. I think this isn't like kind of a one size fits all. It's going to depend on the age. It's going to depend on what kind of a sleepover party. Like, there's all and your own comfort level. I think it's important just to think about this stuff. My first thought is that there's always been bisexual teens at sleepovers. And maybe in my day, you mostly just didn't know it because like nobody talks as much. So the fact that your teen is open enough, I think is, again, a step in the right direction in terms of keeping things open, right? Like, don't you think so, Lainey?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think that when it comes to teens, as a parent, set your rules. Of course, rules are necessary, but also expect for them to be broken. That is part of the teenage rite of passage. You are breaking rules, you lie. So I don't know, back in my day, and maybe it was just my, degenerate group of friends and me, but if I'm telling my parents I'm going to a sleepover at Cynthia's, it meant that I would maybe do a drop by at Cynthia's, and then I would end up at Bobby's and in his basement. And that is and then you would tell Cynthia, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. You would tell Cynthia, okay, if my parents call, cover for me. Remember. And Cynthia would be like, for sure, because I would cover for Cynthia if her parents called me, and then we'd end up doing whatever. Like half the point of a sleepover is to tell your parents, oh yeah, we'll just be braiding each other's hair and like watching movies and eating popcorn, like nothing.
I did this once and I got caught.
Well,
I did that exact story once.
You
and
lie.
I got caught.
You lie. You say you're watching movies and braiding each other's hair, and then meanwhile you're raiding the liquor cabinet, or you're inviting boys over, or you're going or girls if you're bisexual or gay or whatever. Like, anyway, so parents out there, make your rules, but they're going to be broken.
I'll just tell you that story really quickly, just in case anyone's watching. Don't do this. So I decided that I was going to go over to, let's just call him Bobby. Let's go with this, to get together with him. And then I told a friend of mine, I'm like, I'm going to be staying over at your house tonight. And if anyone calls from my house, just whatever, like call me at this location. And so sure enough, my mother called Andrea, my friend, and I was supposedly in the shower at that time. That's what she said. She's like, oh, well, she's in the shower right now. Who goes in the shower at their friend's house? But anyway, she called me quickly at my boyfriend's place. And then get this is back in the days of the call waiting. Do you remember those? So I called back to my mom's place. In the meantime, she'd called back to my friend Andrea's, and I was busted. Don't do that.
Ooh.
Like I said, teens lie.
Okay, we're going to move along here to...
Oh, we are? Okay. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to bring up... I was gonna say that I've also been to Bobby's basement, which is weird. But and I got busted. I told my parents I was going to be at a sleepover, and I was downtown going to my first bar in Montreal, and because we start young, and they passed me on the street in a car with their friends. They actually drove by me downtown, and they rolled down the window, and I was like, and then they just kept going, and then I didn't know what to do. I ran back, found my friend. We ran back. Anyway, this is the first time I'm admitting that it was a lie. I can't believe I'm doing that on TV. But more importantly, one of the great things about being gay or queer is that, yes, you have, your locker rooms, right? Like we get to your all-girls bathrooms. Like you have these spaces. And I went to an all-girls high school, and I brought Iman with me when no spouses. That's me at my all-girls high school reunion. And very cool group of gals. And Iman came, and, nobody else brought their spouse because it was no husbands, but she was more than welcome. Everyone was so excited to have her there. So, that's like, it's one of the little perks.
Yeah, I don't know what the rule is on that.
They said
as your partner, I guess because same sex, then it's acceptable that I'm there. They're just like, give it to them. Just get, they're gay. Like, they go through a lot of things.
Yeah.